Cowboys made 2 trades today, and we're joined now by Audacy NFL insider Mark Schlereth, host of the Stinkin' Truth podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And a good afternoon, Mark. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Tail whooping by Arizona, but then the trade for Quinnen Williams. Cowboys give up a 1 and a 2. How do you like that trade?
Oh, I like it. I think Quinnen Williams is a hell of a football player, without question, and great run defender. What does it do for you this year? Probably not a whole lot. You guys give up 20-yard plays like it's your job in Dallas, and so I don't know that one guy in the middle, and I know they got Logan Wilson as well, right, who I really like as a linebacker. But, I always say on the line of scrimmage, one guy that's a beast, we can contend with that. When you start getting 2 or 3 dudes, that's when it becomes really, really hard for offensive line to kind of eliminate that guy, so to speak. So he'll make some plays, but your back end is so tore up, and the defense has just been so abysmal that I don't know that makes a big, big difference, as far as, trying to make a playoff push.
Yeah, it's a step, but I don't know that the Cowboys are a playoff team. And now they've got this Vegas Raiders team that you just got to see against Jacksonville. Do you, after watching the Cowboys last night, is this a matchup that maybe the Raiders could kick their ass?
Well, the Raiders got healthy, right? The Raiders got their guys back. So Brock Bowers that dude is phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So big, strong, fast, and a great route runner. He's the one dude that can beat man-to-man coverage. And I don't care who it is. Even Jacksonville put their best man-to-man corner in the red zone toward the goal line on him, and he beat him for a touchdown. And that's big. So I think they're playing better. Obviously, Max Crosby is a problem for anybody. That guy makes a lot of plays. So the Raiders played well against Jacksonville, had a chance to win that game, didn't get it done. But I think the Raiders, are moving in the right direction at least. And offensively, Geno Smith played a lot better last weekend against Jacksonville. So we'll see exactly what they become. But yeah, they're going to be a tough out. They'll play hard, so no question.
Stink, there's been a lot of talk here as of late with Brian Schottenheimer having to spend time in defensive meetings to help out Eberflus and figure out what's going on the defensive side of the ball. How normal is that in your experience?
Well, I think there's a lot, when you say, hey, man, we've got to, here's what teams are doing. Eberflus knows what he's doing, right? You just don't have the players to get it done. So, and then it might be one of those situations where, hey, man, we're going to have to get out of the things you like to do and do some things that are uncomfortable. And here are some situations that give us issues, whatever. It's probably not the most, normal thing to do. But listen, I will tell you, you can have the greatest coach in the world. If you don't have the players, it really doesn't matter. You got to have players. You got to have players that can make plays and can do things in critical situations. And so ultimately, I think that's always one of those things where you have a coach that comes in, or you're the head coach. You got to be in charge of everything, and that includes, you got to have those meetings. But the bottom line is you just don't have the players right now. So hey, we're trying to figure it out. I don't look at that like, Eberflus can't coach or doesn't know what he's doing. No, he just doesn't have the players to get it done.
Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Hey, Stink, it seems like just when the Cowboys, they've got things kind of going with the running game, but they're also losing games with their running game. Or do you think defenses are just like, we're okay, yeah, fine, run the ball with Williams, do what you want that way, but we're not going to let you beat us throwing the football? Do you think that's something because we've seen every time we look up and there's a loss, Williams is having a good game, and the Cowboys have been running the ball, but they just haven't got anything out of it.
Yeah, well, when Williams starts making tackles on the defensive side of the ball,
sure,
then we'll have it figured out.
Right.
You gotta be able to run the ball. You've got to take the starch out of defenses. You got to be able to do that, win time possession. But the bottom line, you look at the Dallas Cowboys. defensively they're going to struggle, and
Sure.
part of the deal is when you run the ball, you help out protection, you help out your offensive line, you create one-on-one situations on the edge for your wide receivers. You do all those things, so all that stuff is important. The bottom line is, the Cowboys just aren't very good,
Yeah.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball. So. I know everybody goes, well, we've got two big-time wide receivers. Let's just chuck the ball. Let's just throw it. And then the next thing you know, you can't protect. You get your quarterback banged up. There's a method to the madness. And right now you're trying to overcome, a faulty defense, and that's hard to do.
How about in the AFC, you have the Colts doing 2-1s for Sauce Gardner. Apparently the Chiefs wanted Breece Hall, but the Jets wanted a 3-back. Kansas City was only willing to do a 4. Should they have gone to the 3 and added Breece Hall to that group?
The Kansas City, I don't know that. I mean, I like Hunt. I like what they're doing right now on Sunday, notwithstanding against the Buffalo Bills losing that game. But it's an all-out fire sale with the Jets, and it just is. It's interesting. I love what they did in Indianapolis, getting Sauce Gardner, because it just gives them so many options on the defensive side of the ball. So I think that's great. I don't know that. I mean, Breece Hall's a really nice back. There's no question. I don't know that he's that big a difference maker. I mean, me personally, would I have done it when I've gone to the third round? Yeah, because I don't covet draft picks. And the reason draft picks are so coveted in the league is because there's salary certainty. You get 4 years of a guy at basically change out of the couch cushions in the owner's office. So, I get why teams do it. But I would much rather have a known commodity over an unknown commodity. So many of these guys that get drafted just can't play at the NFL level. So that's kind of how I look at it. But, obviously Kansas City didn't want to give it up.
When you look and you're calling games every week across the league, like the Cowboys would move the football last night and then they'd stall inside the 10. How prevalent is that across the NFL with teams struggling inside the red zone?
Well, I think it's a real prevalent thing, especially teams that don't want to run it or don't know how to run it against heavy boxes. You get down to the red zone, and you no longer have the fear of getting beat over the top. So having a really fast wide receiver no longer does anything for you north and south, right? And so ultimately everybody's stacked in there. And so you better really understand how to run it and how to set your play action up off of that stuff. So I think it's pretty prevalent across the National Football League that it's really, you get down there and you get limited space. It's really hard. Look at the Green Bay Packers, who everybody thinks is one of the best teams in the NFC. They got down against Carolina 5 times. They scored 1 touchdown. So it's pretty prevalent throughout the league. It's hard to score down there in the red zone. And so anyhow, that's just part of the way the game is played. And, and defenses, obviously have an advantage over there because there's just lack of space.
Hey, just wanted to say, Stink, big salute to you for the peeing on the bathroom floor stuff, man. In an airplane, I do respect that at a high level.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, you fly every week, and you see people in shorts like tank tops. Nobody wants to see your armpits. I saw a dude. I flew home Sunday night after calling a game. And dude in flip flops. I think to myself, dude, you're an animal. Put some shoes on. Nobody wants to see your ugly ass feet. That's gross. I don't understand it. There should be a code. Should be a code to be able to get on an airplane.
You ever just say, screw it, screw the bathroom, I'm just going to go urinate on his foot?
Well, no, I didn't go that far. I'm not an animal.
Are dudes still peeing in their pants during game days like you were? Like, is that still a frequent thing? Do you know? Have you been on that beat?
No, I have not been. I don't know. I'm sure there's a few dudes that, you got to go. I'm sure that happens occasionally, I would imagine.
Right.
You're the man, Stink. Appreciate you as always. Enjoy week 10. We'll catch up with you next Tuesday.
Sounds good, guys. Do well.